We know that Germany has said that it will cite the climate action as one of its priorities during its G20 presidency. So how do you think G20's role in combating climate change?
Of course, the G20 is a very relevant actor in the international community. Anything that the G20 decides, the messages that the G20 sends out to the world are always influencing what others will do. So it is important what the G20 will say regarding climate change. And I know that the German government has been working with the counterparts of the other members of the G20 in order to try to give continuity to the commitments that they have made in the past meeting, especially in China, also regarding climate change. So we are really hopeful that they are successful at the meeting in Hamburg.
With the U.S. Withdrawal from the Paris Agreement, a lot of reports saying that probably the climate change will not be included in the final communique. If it's not included, whether it will have any impact on the global efforts to fight climate change.
Well, it's uncertain. It's really not clear. Of course, what we have seen in the recent meeting of the G7 was that there was a unanimous view by 6, and there was a different opinion by the US. We don't know how this will unfold in the G20. I think that in these last weeks there have been a lot of signals pointing to the importance of embarking on the agenda to address climate change.
Germany's side, they will inherit the achievement that made in Hangzhou last year. So how do you think of this achievement, and how is your expectations this year in Hamburg?
Well, the meeting in China was certainly a very, very crucial meeting. It's for instance, in that framework, the ratification by the US and China was announced. And I would say that that was a moment that marked the process towards achieving full compliance of the 2 thresholds that were needed for the entering into force of the Paris Agreement. And that marked the beginning of a process that allowed us to have the Paris Agreement entering into force in less than 1 year, which is also very unusual for such a complex international instrument. On the other hand, also, it was a forum where China announced its willingness to green their financing system. And that's also a very important development. Why? Because financing is a crucial element for achieving the goals of the Paris Agreement. So I believe and I would hope that this issue of green financing will be also addressed during the meeting in Hamburg, and in that way give continuation to the efforts and the commitments by China, and hopefully other countries will follow that example.